everyone. Welcome to our first Dad versus Daughter Top 5 List episode. This first suggestion comes to us from 1V Klotz, thank you very much, and it's what are the top 5 qualities that make a hit song. Now, just for clarification, it's if you want a song to be a hit on the radio today.
Okay.
All right. And I picked this topic, so do you want to start off?
Yeah, I get to go first because you picked the topic.
All right, and we'll start at 5 and count down to the number 1 most important thing.
That's fine. Okay. I'm very prepared.
Okay.
I know you went to a music school, but I'm really good at picking out hit songs. I would say number 5 would be, and I don't have all the terminology that you have at Frost School, but songs can become hit songs if you take the chorus at some point and stop playing the music and just start clapping. Like if you've noticed, like all those songs are big hits. Like if you, in all of recorded music, if you take out all the songs that have rhapsody or ode in them, the greatest song of all time is, of course, Renegade by Styx. You guys obviously knew that. And, why is it the best song? Because it does that. But it surpasses the other songs that do that because at the beginning it does it, and it's like, oh, mama, I'm in the field for my... And I'm
wait. But that didn't have clapping.
Okay, that's right. It didn't have clapping. But this is what's so amazing. Like, yeah, that didn't have clapping, but then later on they do that chorus again, and they add in the clapping.
Right.
So they essentially do it twice, and it becomes one of the greatest, obviously a song everybody listening to this would, if their lives would be better if they heard Renegade every single day. So that would be good. But let me just say this. I was listening to a country song when I was growing up by Alabama, and I was like, this song isn't very good. And then all of a sudden the chorus changed, and they were like, play me some mountain music like Grandma and Grandpa used to play. And I was like, wow, that song is great. So if the song is good but not great, just stop playing the music and start clapping.
Okay. Like that. All right, so my number 5 thing is going to be song title. Now, you basically want your song to be able to be recognizable by listeners so they can look it up on the internet if they want to hear it. Now,
okay, wait. I feel that's a dumb argument because, like, one of my favorite songs of all time was White Winged Dove, and
so Edge of 17.
Exactly. I didn't know what the song was called, but it didn't matter because it was still my favorite song.
Okay. But we're talking about hit songs today. When Fleetwood Mac was big, songs were mostly sold in albums, and you're buying the whole album, so it doesn't really matter what the individual songs are titled, right? Because you have the whole thing.
Okay, so what I would like to do is edit this part out and move on. I was wrong about that one.
Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, if you have, and the title is generally going to be in the chorus, or the hook of the song, as we say. So, if you have a very romantic love song about you and your significant other, you're not gonna call it like Cheese Festival or something. That's not effective.
Okay, disagree. I think Cheese Festival sounds like a money song. Okay, number 4, robot singing. Robot singing. Well, just go based on statistics. 100% of songs that have had robots singing in them have been hit songs. I had never heard of Daft Punk before. Okay, maybe I'm not into that BDM scene. But when Daft Punk had robots singing, all of a sudden I was like, Daft Punk rules. I want to get lucky on the dance floor and sing like a robot. That was great. But it's not just Daft Punk. Funky Town by Lips Incorporated. I thought they were singing into a fan. Nope. Robot singing. Number 1 song for 4 weeks. The worst robot singing song ever is Freakazoid Robots, Please Report to the Dance Floor. Worst robot song ever, but still an amazing song. 100% of songs with robots singing.
Okay, let me just stop you there. There have been a lot of songs with robots singing that you just haven't heard because they weren't hits, right?
No, because if they had robots singing, they would be hits, and I'd be.
All right, let's again move on from this.
Robot singing.
Good try, Daddy.
Is the best. Probably should have been number one. Actually.
Okay. Well, the next thing I want to talk about, and I feel like this isn't something people discuss a lot, but it's pronouns. If your song uses pronouns like he did this, she did this, they feel this way, then the listener doesn't feel like they're part of it. They're just a bystander and they really don't care what's happening. It's definitely more effective to use pronouns like you are so beautiful, I love you, we do this and this and this and this together. Because then the listener feels included and they're emotionally invested, and your songs are all about selling it to the listener because they're the ones that are going to buy your music. Rest my case.
Yeah, robots a little bit better. Number 3, okay, I'm crushing it already, and now I'm really going to step on the gas. Songs that sound like other songs on the radio. You know, occasionally transformative artists show up, the Beatles. Once in a blue moon when that happens, that's fine. But then if other groups want to have their songs on the radio, the record companies are going to be like, hey, sounds great. Make a bunch of songs that sound like the Beatles and we'll put those on the radio. And especially now, like back then there were 30 record companies and they were all making scads of money. Now there's 3 record companies or something like that, and I don't think any of them are making money.
3 major record labels, just to set that straight.
Okay,
Majors.
you know. But, Mr. Mathematician here, not a math quiz. But what I'm saying is that record companies are only going to put your song out and put money behind it if you can say, hey, look, this sounds like the song you just heard on the radio. Now, Sam Smith, he was different. I know you're going to bring him up, that's fine. But spoiler alert, I don't know how long it takes to like record songs and get them on the radio, but whatever that gap is, you're about to hear a whole lot of songs and you're going to think, oh, these are Sam Smith's new songs. No, they're not. They're the songs of the other guys that can sound like him, and the record company said, we'll make your record if you sound like Sam Smith. So listen to the songs on the radio, of which there are only 8 or 9 at a very time. And if your song doesn't sound like one of those 8 or 9 songs, you better be Sam Smith or the Beatles or Adele, or you should probably get a different job.
All right.
Okay, that's good, actually.
All right. Good. It's probably not the best thing.
No.
Originality, but fair enough.
Okay, this one.
All right. What are we on? We're not number 3?
Yeah, I just did my number 3. So you do your number 3.
Okay. So my number 3 one is song structure. If you look at songs that are on the radio today, there's a pattern. It's not just like a random string of words that rhyme together. Hit songs are going to have verses and choruses, and pop songs are probably going to have a bridge also, and some sort of instrumental break. Preferably, you want to have the chorus repeat a bunch of times so that the listener remembers it and so that they can sing it back to themselves later. One idea that pops into my mind is that song "Shut Up and Dance." Their chorus repeats so many, probably 5 times. I don't know because I don't have internet access right now.
Yeah.
But so many times, but it's so catchy, right?
Yeah.
Look back, just keep your eyes on me, and then holding back. All right, so you get.
Shut up, Ben.
Okay, so that was what I had for that one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I didn't understand those words, but I definitely love "Shut Up and Dance." So if that's what you're talking about,
it's catchy. That's the point.
Okay, number 2. I mean, this might be too obvious. You got to sing about butts. Any butts are good. I think female butts, just based on what I'm hearing on the radio. Okay, well, listen to my argument first.
No, yeah.
Female butts are a little bit better because think about it. Your experience, you're listening to the radio like an old guy, or you're listening to the internet like everybody else, and you're listening to a song and you're like, this song isn't that great, the music sounds like everybody else, and you're about to turn it and you're like, whoa, What is he just talking about? Like that girl's butt, like bumping up and down, and her butt is awesome. Whoa, this is my jam. I'm all about this song. What? And her butt did what? And how does her butt look? Yes, that's how I want the butt of my girlfriend to look, or at least the girl that I'm like hanging out with tonight. So, yeah, you may have a song that might have a good beat and good, I don't know the words that she talks about with her songs, but if you want to make it great, throw in a little bit of stuff about butts, boom, hit, maybe add some robots singing.
I mean, there are a lot of songs mentioning butts. I have to give that one
I
to you.
appreciate the concession.
Right. Okay. My next thing is an effective lyric. Now, I know that's really broad. I'm just going to talk about a couple specific things to try to optimize your lyrics. Now, first, a couple things that are bad things that you should not have in your words. One mistake that a lot of amateur songwriters in specific make is having too many ideas in one song. Like when I started writing songs, I can definitely say that I did this. A song can't be about you just met the love of your life and also you just got a promotion at work, but your cat has a weird rash, and also you are really into synchronized swimming. No, those may be hit songs by themselves, but you gotta just have not that many topics in one song. Another mistake that people make is having it's too wordy or there's not enough words. I'm not gonna really
excuse
you. But yeah, just make sure that the lyrics are singable and that they're conversational, and they seem to fit where the melody fits. I can expand that in a later episode. Another thing you do want to have is a lot of 1 and 2 syllable words. Just because that seems to be the pattern. Like, okay, think about Katy Perry's Hot and Cold. What the chorus is like, you're hot and you're cold, you're yes and you're no, you're in then you're out, you're up and down. Those are like all 1 syllable words, right? And it's so catchy. So that's just one example. I definitely challenge you when you're listening to the radio or whatever music source. Think about how many 1 and 2 syllable words there are in there. And the last thing I want to say about your words in your song is detail. Because I know as songwriters we have these amazing stories in our head that we just want to share with the world, but the listener doesn't know that unless you fill them in on what's happening in the story in your head. So, okay, like for instance, that song Trap Queen, it's my jam. You're probably old, so you've never heard it.
Have not heard that song. No robots.
I don't think there's any, still robots, but anyway. Okay, the part in the chorus where they're like, I be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby, describing the setting of what they're doing. Everyone loves pies. I mean, not everyone, but
I love pie.
Whatever. Then the following line where it's like, I just left the mall, I'm getting fly with my baby. Again, describing the setting, what you're doing, gets the listener involved. They feel emotionally engaged. Yeah, so
that's number 2?
Detail.
Okay, number 1. Okay, I mean, now granted I stole this. She was under 18 when we went to the ASCAP convention, and I was sitting in on the conventions, and there was a guy talking about introductions, and he made a good point that, like, when Mariah Carey, who has more number 1 hit songs than anybody else, was writing songs, she would have like 15 to 20 second introductions because people listen to songs on the radio, and the DJs wanted to talk to the music introduction and then end whatever they were selling right before the lyrics. But now, the majority of songs are being listened to, particularly the ones where you're paying to listen to them, on the internet. And the problem is that sources like Spotify and Pandora or whatever, they pay for every song you click on. So if you click on a song and then after 10 seconds you switch to a next song, they have to pay the artist for that next song. So introductions have to be very short. And after he said that, I didn't believe him at first because I love all those Elton John songs and Billy Joel songs with those great introductions from the 70s. The greatest songs of all time all have long introductions. Bohemian Rhapsody and Stairway to Heaven and Hotel California. I don't know how long that introduction is, a minute or so. But when I started looking at the Billboard charts, I traced it for a year, and only one song, Good Life by One Republic, had an introduction over 8 seconds. The entire year in the Billboard Top 10, and that's probably because Ryan Tedder wrote it. And most people may not know who Ryan Tedder is. I think he's the best pop songwriter on the planet today. I mean, other than Paul McCartney, but the person who's cranking out hits right now is Ryan Tedder, One Direction, and he writes all the other hits.
One Direction? What's that?
Ooh, man, we gotta cut that out. No, we cannot have me saying One Direction. I meant One Republic.
Okay, as long as you know.
Right, One Republic. Okay, but I'm saying he writes songs for Beyonce and Kelly Clarkson, and he wrote Bleeding Love, which is an incredible song, obviously. Whoever that is. And so what I'm saying is, it's clear just statistically that if you want a song to be a hit, have no introduction, because Pandora and Spotify and stuff are more likely to promote your song if they feel like people will listen to it and they will decide, they have to decide instantly that they like it, or they'll switch to another song, and every time they switch to another song, that costs the streaming services money. So don't have any introduction at all to your song. Your song might be better with an introduction, so play that introduction when you play it in concert, but when you record it, have no introduction.
No, that's a good point. That would probably be number six on my list, the short introduction.
And it should be number 2 behind Robots. But.
All right, well. The last thing I want to say, now, good effort, but I feel very confident about my number 1 on my list. Catchy melody, guys. It's got to have a catchy melody. Like, any hit song on the radio is a hit because it has a catchy melody. And even if you don't remember all the words or every single part of it, you walk out of there just humming the chorus or the catchy part of it. Now, what I mean by catchy is singable and memorable. So if it's something that people can sing easily, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, gotta throw it back to hot and cold. You're hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're in, then you're out. Everybody remembers that. Like, everybody knows that. Like, ever. Since it was written. Also, Uptown Funk. So much radio play recently. That part at the end where they're like, Uptown Funk you up.
Don't believe you just what?
Right, but specifically the part that's like, Uptown Funk you up.
Uptown Funk you.
Why are you clapping on 1 and 3?
I should not be singing.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a musician. Obviously.
Okay, so you guys know what part I'm talking about. That's one note the whole time.
Yeah.
One note. Super singable, really memorable. That's where we're going to end it. Catchy melody, folks. That is the key.
Okay, the only thing, obviously, you guys have to vote. You vote dad or daughter. Whoever gets the most votes wins. And I would just like to leave you with one last thought. She did an entire top 5 and said nothing, absolutely nothing about robots or butts. So that should be what you think about.
Keep that in mind when you're voting.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks for watching.
This
Bye.
is a wrap.